Hey guys, Keith Engel with TGI Sports Talk. Just wanted to pop in here quick, and I think, as I've mentioned in the past, I'm going to start posting some short vlogs, maybe with the topic of the day for me. Maybe 5 minutes long sometimes, maybe 10 minutes long sometimes. Not going to try to take up too much time. You won't see me in my normal studio settings with my nice microphones and whatnot, but I want to get in. I want you to comment on these vlogs. I'm going to share them in some places where they fit, depending on the groups it'll fit with, like the NFL today. We're going to talk about the Patriots. I want your comments. I want to see you visit the site more. I want to see you become a follower of the show. We're getting our best guests on. We're going to have Fred Mitchell on tomorrow morning. But today I want to talk about the state of the Patriots. Try not to take up too much time. So where are we? We're approaching midseason. Most teams have hit midseason. Patriots are 2-5. They'll play their 8th game this week against the Jets. Most likely a victory, unless Belichick decides he wants to tank the season, which I don't think will happen. I'm not a favor of tanking. Lots of my friends that are Patriot fans want to see that. If they were to tank and lose out, theoretically, they could be in the hunt for Trevor Lawrence. Not going to happen. Not in Bill Belichick's DNA. A little surprised that at the trade deadline that the Patriots made really no moves. They brought in Isaiah Ford, a wide receiver from the Dolphins, to reinforce the corps there because they're depleted something terrible. I mean, Edelman's hurt, Harry's hurt. Nice game out of Myers the other night. Bird playing okay. They need some more weapons, and it's now time to find out what you have for next year. They didn't make trades, as I said. They brought in Ford. Gilmore's still here. A little surprising, but Gilmore's still here. Probably get traded in the offseason before the draft. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Somebody didn't want to pay. First round pick is what they were looking for, and nobody was willing to pay. So Gilmore's still here. I don't know if he's healthy enough to play. We'll have some injury updates tomorrow when I'm on the Mac and Jack sports show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or a little after 9 when I end my show tomorrow. And even more updates Sunday morning on my show. They didn't move Tooney. They really made no moves. I'm a little surprised, but I think, Bill Belichick, being Bill Belichick, has a plan. This isn't a 5-year rebuild, and it's time to find out who can play and who wants to play and who wants to be on this team moving forward. And I think Bill Belichick will spend the rest of the season trying to figure that out. This team's not going 7 and they have to go 7-2 the rest of the way out to finish 9-7, or 8-1 to finish 10-6 and have a shot at the playoffs. It's not going to happen. So it's time to figure out what you got for next year. To me, it starts with the quarterback. You're nowhere in this league without a quarterback. Defensively, they're going to have a lot of guys come back, reinforcements next year. The people that opted out, Hightower, Chung, some other bodies, some other very serviceable guys, eight or nine guys in total opted out, and 2 very good players that I just mentioned. So you got some reinforcements coming on defense. I think they've got some guys that have stepped up this year on defense, like Winovich, I like a lot. And some of the other guys I think are going to progress. And when the Patriots have a full off season and get the OTAs like normal again next year, COVID really disrupted what they do, how they can find, how they can plug guys into the best place they can for them to be successful. They didn't have enough preparation time to make that work, and it hurt. And the cap space this year was ridiculous. I mean, Belichick said the other day, just look at what we did signing Newton for $1 million. We didn't have any money. So, again, because they went all out the last 5 years, they were all in. And you know what? They went to 4 Super Bowls, won 3 of them. Won 2 of them. and also went to an AFC championship game. So, it was probably worth the investment. But this is where they found themselves in cap hell this year. Next year, much different story. They can spend some money. They're probably going to move some guys for some draft picks like Gilmore that I mentioned. All that's well and good. Time to find out what you have for a quarterback. Do you have a quarterback or don't you? Cam Newton's not the quarterback of the future. If there's anybody on the team, it's obviously Jarrett Stidham, and I think it's time to play him. I kind of wish he was playing this week against the Jets. It'd be a great start for him to get some confidence, get used to the speed of an NFL game, which he has not had. He's been thrown into some tough situations. Last year he had mop-up action and back at Tom Brady in a couple of games, but he played great in practice. The team loved him. Belichick loved him. And that's one of the reasons that Tom Brady was not seriously they didn't try to seriously bring Tom Brady back. They didn't think they needed to. They thought they had a guy that could be serviceable. He got hurt in training camp, and the rest is, he didn't play well. Cam came in. Cam played well. Cam went along with the program, but Cam has thrown 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. The team's 2-5. Cam is a shell of himself. Bad shoulder, bad decision-making, holds the ball too long, and can't hold on to the ball. Should have beat the Bills Sunday. Maybe this is a different conversation if Cam doesn't fumble the football. Don't know. But I do know it's time to find out if you got a quarterback. Play Stidham. Let him get the first team reps in practice. Play Stidham. Get him used to the game speed the next few weeks. Take your lumps. Not going anywhere. Find out if you got a quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, and it's quite possible you don't. I like the kid, but it's quite possible we don't have a quarterback. If we don't, now it's time to start figuring out how to get one. Free agency, the draft, probably the top 3 guys, Fields or Lawrence, probably not feasible. I'm trying to think of the other kid from South Dakota. I can't think of his name now. It's escaping me. I'll come up with it when we chat again. They're probably looking maybe with the first round, end of the first round pick. Who knows? Belichick could go first round quarterback. Depends on the situation. Could he trade up? Possibly. He loves to stockpile draft picks, move up, move down. You don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this. You need to know whether you need a quarterback or you've got one that's been sitting under your nose the whole time. I think Stidham's got some talent. I think we can. I think we need to find that out here the next. After this week, the next 8 weeks. Let him play. Let him take his lumps. Find out. If you don't, then you got to rebuild. I think with the reinforcements coming on defense for the guys that opted out, that's going to be a plus. The defense has not played bad. The offense has made the defense look a lot worse than what it is. They've got to find a way to get a quarterback, whether it's Stidham or somebody else. You've got to get better skill position players. Harry cannot get separation. He might be a fine guy to have on the team as a third receiver or whatnot, but he's never going to be a number 1 receiver, I don't think. Edelman is probably, he's on the backside of his career. That's not a probably. Probably won't be here next year. It's entirely possible we won't see Edelman in Patriot uniform after this year. Myers I like, but you need some more guys. You need some more bodies. You need a healthy running back. Sony Michel cannot stay healthy. Not the answer. Then you got some other guys that are good role players back there in Burkhead and White. But it starts with a quarterback, guys. We got to find a quarterback. And Stidham could be that guy, but we don't know unless he plays. Don't find out about these guys in practice. You find out about them during games. Put him in there. Put Cam on the bench. I don't care if you got to release Cam at this point. And it's really not going to cost them any money, no matter what they do. But it's time to find out. And I think Bill Belichick is the kind of guy who's going to do that. And it's not just quarterback. Quarterback is where it starts. But you got to find out who else is going to be back here next year. You got problems in the secondary. The McCourty brothers are getting older. Love them both. Jason McCourty, they're just good. They're just smart kids. Guys, men, they were kids at one time, but they've been the heart and soul of that secondary for a long time, and it might be time to move on. Devin's been here a long time, so this is a long way of saying it. The state of the Patriots is not good, but it does not have to be not good for years like the Jets or the Jaguars or name your team. We knew we'd be here. Always knew the Patriots would be like everybody else someday. Probably when 12 left. 12 left. He's a GOAT. But the coach is a GOAT as well. And they won all those championships, 6 Super Bowls in 20 years together. They wouldn't have won 6. Tommy wouldn't have won 6 somewhere else without Bill. Bill wouldn't have won 6 without Tom. They each would have won their share, maybe 1, maybe 2. They wouldn't have won 6 wherever they would be without each other. But Tommy's gone. Time to find another guy. Find out if Stidham's the guy. Or we find a guy in free agency or trade or most likely in the draft. And I think it's time to find out now. This season is dead. Punt it away. Find out what you got. Cam sits. Stidham plays. Let's find out. Let me know. Post your comments. You agree? You disagree? You don't care? Hope you'll follow the show, DGI Sports Talk. See me here live on Friday morning, 8 o'clock with my interviews. This week we have Fred Mitchell. I've got interviews coming up with Rex Walter about the NCAA basketball season starting soon. I hope to have some other guests on that I don't want to name just yet because we haven't finalized anything. I'll have Billy Martin Jr. back on. We had a few problems last week, but he promised to reschedule. He does apologize to everybody. And guys, let's see if the Patriots can recover and if Bill Belichick is as good as I think he is. And next year we find out how good Bill Belichick is as a coach when we get this turned around and head in the right direction. This year, it's time to punt. It's 3rd and long. We don't have a quarterback, so you might as well punt on 3rd down at this point. All right, guys, Keith Engel for DJI Sports Talk. See you soon. Bye-bye. I'll see you on Mac and Jack tomorrow at 8 o'clock, by the way. Or I'm sorry, 9 o'clock after my show. We'll talk more Patriots. Bye-bye.